Hey, Basket Brains, Kirby here, aka Darkwing Disc. And did you know that there is a car that has four wheels and flies? It's called a garbage truck. Alongside me is the fairway finder himself, Ollie Depina. And if Ollie was an astronaut, his favorite board game would be Monopoly. Welcome to episode 59 of the K.O Disc Golf Show. Episode 59 is the Arcanine episode. Famous players to wear the number 59. We got Jack Ham, we got Jake Gensel, and we got Tim Schaller. Red Sox players, we had to dig deep for this one. We got Sam Travis. If you know Red Sox and you know Sam Travis, like you're a real one, man, because that's a deep cut. For the Mariners, we had to go kind of dig deep for this one too. Currently in the year 2025, we have Troy Taylor on the team, and in 2005 only, Felix Hernandez actually wore the number 59, so that was kind of interesting.
Deep cuts, deep cuts.
Deep, yeah. All you want to hit with the Giants, bro?
Yeah, I also got a deep cut to add. Rajon Tucker for the Milwaukee Bucks in 2022 is the only NBA player to wear the number 59. I think that's pretty cool. He also wore number 6, number 9, and number 6, which is also, I now looking at that and saying that out loud is pretty funny.
Is he the only 59 in NBA
history? I believe so, yeah.
That's crazy, dude.
I looked up and it said there was 1 year, one player, one player.
That's wild.
Any season, number 59. And then for the Giants, we got some cool. One of my recent favorites, I'm just going to keep it short and sweet. We're going to go with Lorenzo Carter, who is on our team from 2018 to 2021. And currently, we have our long snapper, which is Casey Creeter. So, shout out to the long snappers. Don't get enough credit, man. Do your job.
Nice. Yeah, before we get into the episode, I want everybody to get to the top rope. I want you to set up and just hit a big old swanton bomb right onto that like and subscribe button. Thank you all so much. We appreciate it. Ollie, how's it going, man? How you doing?
It's going well. Enjoying the nice weather we're having. It's like really feeling like we're getting into that summertime, and I'm feeling like I'm getting a lot of sun, which is really nice. Had like 5 days off of Costco, which was like insane to me. I'm feeling like so refreshed and like honestly like, when you take some time and you get that break, you're kind of like, oh, okay, I'm ready to go do a shift and ready to go back to work. So have that, and so I'm not too bummed and to go do some work this week and everything. And it's kind of a shorter week for me anyway with the holiday on Monday. Which is awesome, and got some fun plans for the later in the week, which is I'm really looking forward to, and yeah, it's been a good week, I'd say, for me.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, you had
and I also got the new. Oh yeah, I also just got the new stock AGL discs, so these are pretty sweet. The Elm, the Koa, and the Sequoia. So those are all on the website right now too. So it's finally nice to have like a bunch of the runs where I can get them and they're easily available and stuff like that. And we actually just released some X outs, so just like the minor blemishes on stamps and stuff like that. If you want to try the new AGL discs, those are even gone down a few bucks from that, and then you can use my code as well for another percentage off that. So Octo-Ollie on there, but yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I will say, I threw one of your Sequoias the other day. Dude, it's a nice flyer, man. That is pretty good. So, yeah, definitely go get your hands on some of those and help out our boy Ollie here. Use that code Octo-Ollie. Yeah. Ollie, you had a pretty cool weekend, man.
Yeah.
Let's jump right into GoThrow. Both of us were up at Kayak Point this week for the GoThrow, and I mean, we might as well go in order of days, So we had a pretty good practice round on Thursday,
with
and then
the motherfucking goat,
with the fucking goat, Chuck Knudsen.
Let's go.
Who I had on the bag all weekend. Really awesome. It was so cool hanging out with Chuck, and happy late birthday to Chuck. His birthday was on Sunday.
Yep.
Yeah, he's the man, dude. I mean, so good. But yeah, so Thursday we had a practice round, and what was it, like 3 p.m. or something like that on Thursday? You're like, hey, I think I'm gonna go do this like Beat the Pros qualifier thing, right? So do you wanna just kind of run through Thursday going into Friday kind of thing? Because man, it was awesome.
Yeah, so picking up where Kirby left, we finished our practice round at Blues. I hadn't eaten yet, so I was like, I'm too hungry. Kirby was like, I gotta flatten out some of these errors I gotta make and figure out my game plan for Blues. And so you're like, I'm getting right back to that. And
To be
it
fair,
was
I was pretty pissy, because I
oh
did not have a good practice round. So yeah.
well, hey, but sometimes Blues is, and it was kind of cool to see the pros have like. There's some of them were really struggling, and like also hearing. I'll get into Blues later too, more about that, but you're flattening out those irons. Me and Chuck were like, we need we need to go get some sandwiches before we do that. We'll try to meet you out there. So we go back to the clubhouse. Saw at Ace's Barbecue, Sean was making the sandwiches again, which I'm just so happy about as well. So I was like, I know I have to go stop and get that. Um, we go and stop and get some sandwiches. We're sitting there. We're eating, we're talking. I'm like, I don't really have anything to do. I realized tomorrow, and I'm looking at the qualifier signups, and I was like, I feel like I can easily do that. I kind of was just going to go on Friday to spectate, and I was like, it was $65 to sign up to spectate, but it was $50 to do the qualifier. So I was like, oh, I could save $15, go all day and do the qualifier. So I thought I was just going to be saving some money and doing that. Chuck agreed to walk with me, so I texted you, and I was like, what hole are you at? And you're like, hole 7. And I was like, oh, that's so far away from me. I was like,
Mm.
let's just go play this Reds real quick. So Chuck and I hopped on Reds, which was I haven't played Reds in a long time, so there was a lot of nerves with that, honestly. Like, I think the last time I just had a poor performance. Like, I think I was in my head, and it was like, honestly, over a year ago or like a year and a half ago. So I think it was like -2, where I was like, that was just it was so boring and so not fun. So there was some nerves there where like I just really need to perform, but it was playing like a really fun, safe golf that also was like attacking in a way. So it was really fun. A lot of just jump putts getting me close to the basket, soft bids and stuff like that. So me and Chuck are running through the course, going pretty quickly. Adam Alexander also came by and was shooting shots, which is like so we had 3 people doing all our drives, but then they were picking up some shots. But we got through the course in like an hour and a half, and I ended up
Yeah.
with a neg 11, which I think tied me for 5th or 4th on the qualifying standard. So I was like, okay, sweet. And mathematically, I couldn't get jumped off. I think there was 8 people left. Um, so that was really exciting. So I knew I kind of like secured that. Went back to the clubhouse and figured out like what time I need to be there the next day. I remember I was sitting down on the patio, and you walk up after Blues, and you're like, I qualified, and you're like, what? And
Yeah.
the look on your face was it was priceless. It was priceless.
Dude, so I finally got back into reception, and I get your text that I were like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go do this thing." And then the next text I get from you is, "I qualified," and I look at that as I'm walking up, and I see you. So I go, "Hey, like, what does that mean? Like, what do you mean you qualified?" And you're like, "I qualified. Like, I played already." And you go, "What do you mean you played already?" I was like, "Dude, that was an hour and a half ago that you texted me." You go, "Yeah, we finished." I was like, how did you finish? Like, you broke my brain. I had no, like, I could not believe that you guys played so fast, which, like, I mean, with Reds, totally makes
Yeah.
sense. Everything's pretty quick. There's not, like, super, super
Or
long walks or anything like that. But, yeah, I mean, you broke me for that, like, half an hour. I was like, what the hell do you mean you finished already?
Yeah, so that was crazy. I remember just being so excited. I was like, I was looking forward to seeing even my name on that post and knowing that I secured that spot. My expectations went from not really having anything to do on Friday to no, I'm going to be having this opportunity. So then, you texted me later and you're like, hey, like, is it cool? I'm like on your bag. And for me, that was like really, really cool where I don't know. It's I've been on your bag before and helped. Like it's just really cool to have you on my bag and have such an experienced player. I knew I was going with an advantage in that sense, where like I was like, you've been in bigger situations and played a huge tournament, so I was like, I'm good. I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah, I
Uh,
mean, I definitely wanted to be there to support you, but there was a bit of like from my side, I was like, man, like if you're good or like like you want to carry your own bag in that, I was like, I'm just gonna come and like spectate and watch. I was like, but like I'm there, dude. Like I might as well throw the bag on and like hang out, and kind of help you out. And like it really, I mean, like it was when you were like, dude, that would be so cool. I was like sick, and then so it's funny because I get there on Friday and I look at Chuck and I was like, so what is this, man? I was like, I don't really know what we're doing today.
Friday was definitely interesting. I watched the one from last year to like kind of familiarize myself on how it would go. Um, didn't help too much, honestly. It was kind of the last year's was kind of a
Yeah,
cluster. I'm not gonna lie. I
yeah.
don't think they had too many expectations on the Reds course on how easy it would be to birdie for a lot of these players, and so I think they were just like, oh, everyone keeps birdieing. We got to keep looping and got to keep going. So this year there was a lot more structure to it. I feel like. And the players playing, I think, were like even Luke said, like watching the drives, like he was like, there's a lot more people like running a putt for eagle on this than last year, you know. So
Yeah, on hole two
um,
there. Yeah.
yeah, so we started out on hole two on reds, and we're doing our drives, and honestly, I don't think like I think I've gotten it in doubles before, but I'm not like it's not one I'm like, oh, I'm always gonna eagle hole two. You know, it's eagleable for me, but I'm like, it's not one I'm like I get all the time. We did a couple warm up shots. I threw two, one that was like awesome, and it was like kind of where I wanted to be exactly in the round. One that was a little safer to the right, and then one that just went OB, and I was like, oh, you came back with the three discs because you went down to go grab them. And you're like, all right, throw this one, you know, aim at that, put it, just give it hyzer, give it like power, and I was like, okay, I could do that. Um, Pump. It was my destroyer, my team AGL destroyer. I love that disc so much. New name, new nickname for it too. I'm gonna write on it a little fairway find, or
Yeah.
put it in history, you know. Um, and I got down there for a putt, and everyone's going, and that was one of the most nervous. It's probably the most nervous I've ever been playing disc golf. Like I don't think I've ever standing there in that line with Luke Humphreys there. Like my legs, I could feel that my knees were like buckling. Like I wanted to like I wanted to like stop for a second. Like I literally was like I wanted to like reset and like do that, and I was like I can't. You know, it was really like nervy for me.
Hmm.
Um, so we're all walking down the fairway. There's a ton of people honestly in range to do it. There was a little uncertainty of like what people knew. Would eagles move on? Would birdies just like what would that mean? But I knew no matter what, if I was in range, I wanted to at least give it a bid. Like, because if no matter what, I knew an eagle would get me further than, or like it'd be better than a birdie, and it is
Yeah.
better than a birdie.
You're
So I
moving on. Yeah.
exactly, and he made that kind of clear. Where he was like, if four people get it, it's over, kind of, and then he's like, if five, you know, we got to keep going. You know, just don't hope there's five. So you know, it was kind of clear to me where I wanted to make sure I gave that a bid, and I saw JoJo step up to his putt, and my heart dropped because I was like in my head I was like he's banging this, I have to go next, and I'm like I'm gonna get big putted by JoJo. I was like no, it happens to so many people, but I was like no, not, I was like it's gonna happen to me. I care. I was like oh gosh.
Hmm.
um he left the bid just a little short. He was pretty far up and up on the hill, so it had that downward, and that
Yeah.
wind can really take it. So I think it just got shot down a little bit, and I remember I was like okay, I'm next, I gotta go do this, and you told me just give it a lofty bid, give it a chance, basically, you know, like don't go. And that doesn't have to be too crazy, you know. I can always get my two right after, stress free. So
Yeah. High and lofty is what I told you.
high and lofty, and so I put my alpaca up, and
It was a great putt. I
yeah,
mean,
it felt awesome.
you hit like the true heart, which is not like top pole. You hit like base pole, like where the rings are.
Yeah,
Like you were coming in to where there was no chance of that thing ever leaving the bottom of the bucket. Like it was such the perfect putt, man. You executed that hole, that eagle so perfectly, and you did it in such a big moment, in front of so many people there. Like I was so proud of you. I mean, to be like, oh man, I'm so proud of my boy, but like I was just like so happy and being
yeah,
like,
no,
yo, that's my guy. Like, yeah, it was really awesome.
uh yeah, and I knew at that moment I was like running it in. I saw the camera behind me. I hear
Hmm.
Luke just pumping it. It was like it kind of like was like, oh dang, I did that, you know. And
Oh yeah.
people start going off, and then Jason Einfeld and Bill Reig ended up getting the other two eagles on that, and so that at that moment when there's just three eagles, we everyone else was fighting for one spot. It kind of sunk in there, and I was like, wait, I did it. And so I remember I walked up to you, and I was way more excited, and like, no,
Hmm.
I actually did it. And everyone's walking to hole three to go do the next hole, and I remember I was like, I gotta go call my mom. Like I went to call my
Yeah.
mom. I called my buddy Gabe. I was like,
Hmm.
dude, what is going on? And then everything was like, I went from like being so excited and like ready to like being like, and now I gotta like game. Now I'm like I'm
Hmm.
gaming now. Like it went
Like,
from really fun event Friday morning, just like having fun. I just got this cool eagle on camera to like, oh no, now I like really gotta like feel like I'm have some pressure to do some stuff if I want to continue to be on camera, you know? Because
yeah, game on.
exactly. And I stepped up to hole one, and I've done this a few times. We're playing reds 1 through 7, and then we jumped over to 10 and played 10, 11, 12, 13, and then 18. So we played a 12-hole run of reds for the Beat the Pros, which was really cool. Excited for the YouTube video to come out as well. I think that's just going to be like, yeah, yeah. And
I
so
mean,
yeah,
you shot great the whole day. I mean, like you were on the lead card. I
Yeah,
mean, because I think they split you guys up into like lead and chase card, and I mean, you didn't leave that lead card the whole day. It was awesome.
yeah. And we step up to Reds, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna take this Juggernaut, one of my overstable drivers." I was like, "I got this. I can give it a lot of power, a lot of angle." I go up to it, and I did just way too much of both,
Hmm.
and that went straight to the ground. And I was like, "Okay, just stop, don't cut roll, 80 feet off the tee pad out of bounds." And so I luckily just got stopped up. It's happened to me before, so I was like, "Oh, I know this upshot. Take a putter, let it ride the hillside, and just let it settle up." And that honestly felt good to show like composure. I was like definitely feeling nerves, but like I was like, okay, I saved that. I could do like anything on this course, and then it just kind of took off from there. Hole two was really fun, playing almost identical to my Beat the Pros, where it was just a good drive, lofty putt, hit like the top bar, came down,
That was
moved
so
on.
close to
Yeah,
sinking. That would have been
yeah,
so tight, dude. Yeah.
it would have been tied with Luke Taylor, I think it was. I got it. It would be cool to see the scores because I kind of also wasn't paying too much attention to that. Um, I
I mean, I'm pretty sure, and this is what I told my wife when I got home that night. Halfway through that, you were tied for that 10 grand.
mhm.
Like you were tied for the lead with I think Gossage or
The
whoever
three
was
guys were
also up there.
Gossage and Taylor, and then Ben Callaway. Or yeah, it's those three. I remember
Yeah,
were the three though.
you were at six down through six, or you were at five down through six, and everybody else was at five down.
Yeah,
Yeah, everybody was tied, and I was like, kind of like Chuck and I were like, this is when the narrative of with Chuck, where I was like, dude, if Ollie wins, we're gonna get so blasted tonight, like it's gonna be awesome. And I was like, we're going to Ram up the street, bar like drinks on Ollie, like we're going hard tonight, dude. Like,
yeah. Uh, I will save some of the shots and some of the details for when the video comes out because I think it's just that much more exciting. But I will say like a little more of like overall. I had like such a cool experience getting like some like live commentating from Luke Humphreys, hearing him talk like compliment my game was like it just did so much for my confidence and so much for my shot. I was like it felt so good and hitting some big putts. It felt like I had like one straddle putt on 11 that I was 10 that I was pretty happy about. That I was running the basket on the other one, just left it way too left, and I was like, well, I can. Even though I wanted the eagle there and was trying to get that, it's like I still put myself in a position to do something cool. Um, and that was just it. It was just such a cool experience. I feel like I got to play my game. I got to throw a tilt, which is going to be really cool to
mhm.
see. And Luke Humphreys and Aaron Gossage, I hear, what is that lid? And then Aaron
Yeah,
Gossage grabs the disc out of my hand, and it was like, what is this, dude? And it just made my heart so big and happy. And that day it for sure is like a huge momentum, a huge starting point of like what I feel like will be like like yeah. I'm really excited for it.
yeah, it was so awesome, dude. It was like really cool, like being there to be able to like support you. I mean, like it's your moment. You know what I mean? And I'm just there, like just trying to help you be the best you can. Kind of in that situation. So that was really awesome. That is where the your new nickname, the Fairway Finder, did come from because that's all you were doing all day, man. Is you were just throwing shots that were landing, center cut of the fairway. You're hitting shots all day. Like you didn't throw any like hole one was probably your like off the tee there was probably your
Yeah,
worst shot of the day. And besides that, man, you were crispy. It
yeah.
was awesome. Um it was so cool on my part just to be there like watching you succeed like in that moment. So I mean I'm pumped for the video, dude. It's so tight. Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, like you said, I played well enough, and I did everything. I was like, it turned out to be like exactly the only thing that could have gone better is the 10K.
Sure. I
Like
mean, yeah,
I got
yeah.
to play on lead coverage with like some of the best pros in the world, where with like one of the best pros on my bag, I'm like, this is the best thing in the world, man. My dreams were coming true, man. I was like, yeah, when this video comes out, you'll just be seeing me post it like every week, probably, maybe like, and then a couple of years, you'll see it again, and then it'll be there.
Every year on your Facebook memory thing. Yeah, 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 for sure. One of the funniest things that happened during that day is some of the hole distances on reds are a little inflated, like some of those holes that are probably around like the 450 maybe 470 mark are labeled like 600. And there's two holes there that Gossage threw a backhand and a forehand, and they were labeled 600 each. So the narrative going forward is Gossage has 600 in the bag, forehand and backhand. Gossage is huge. Like
I'm
he's
calling it
huge.
636.
Yeah, yeah, that's right, that's right. That one was labeled 636.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so even though he didn't even get it like all the way there, I kept just being like, Aaron Gossage, 636-foot forehand.
yeah,
So
dude.
hopefully, I told him to be on the lookout. I'll probably like DM him or something and send it to him and put in the title. But six, yeah, and that was a common theme in a little bit of kayak. I feel like maybe needs to go and reshoot or redo some of the footage because like Gannon talked about it. Every pro I saw a video of talked about how like these are inaccurate. Like, and then they got up to like hole 17 on golds and they're like, it says like 800 something. And they're like, this might be 1,000 foot the way the accuracy of these T signs have been. You know, like
Yeah,
there's kind of seems to be some like really I don't know what it is exactly, but it seems to be something that's not really that accurate.
yeah. I mean, it's yeah. I mean, that was kind of the narrative. I mean, that was part of the narrative the whole weekend, I would say. We'll get right into the GoThrow Tour, or as I've been calling it this week, it's the social media circus tour. That's really what it felt like. I mean, I've played in a bunch of pro tour events now. I play a couple a year. You know, I'm not in any way like a pro tour player or like that as experienced as a lot of the guys that came to the town, but um, it just that tour and the feel of it and the go throw thing, it felt like it was more based off of like every day we're gonna do a bunch of YouTube videos and we're gonna make a big like social media thing out of it, and it felt like the tournament side of that was kind of secondary, you know, and um I think that's okay if that's the intention of this whole thing, being like, hey, like we want this to be like a social media like extravaganza for the week, and you're going to kind of make it that quote unquote like circus, right? Like that's totally fine. But if you want to consider yourself to be like a professional disc golf tour, like that's it can't have this kind of vibe
Yeah,
and kind of feel to it.
yeah,
Um, I am one of you know, honestly, I wanted to come on here and be like, hey, I'm the number one blues hater of kayak blues, like the number one hater of kayak blues. I'm drinking all the blue haterade, but there's so many people that hated on it this week. I don't even know if I'm in the top 10 of the haters, honestly.
yeah,
You know, it's blues was it's not that the course is absolutely awful, because actually the back nine on Kayak Blues is really fun. I genuinely like a bunch of those shots. I think that like what is it, like 11 or 12, that like little like 300 foot like downhill wood shots, like really fun. Like there's a bunch of those that I think are nice.
yeah,
Um, but that front nine is just it's trash. You know, like I think it's just not good. Um, it's so frustrating being out there and being like, man, this place has the potential to be the best disc golf property like on the planet, and you're just like not doing it. You know, the ability for kayak to be able to go from the big wide open, use the elevation, and then go into the woods, and
yeah,
instead they're cramming 18 holes into the woods and then letting 18 holes just play on the old ball golf course, which is down all the big fairways. And that it's just like, why, like there's so much potential to do so much more and be so better, and that's really, I mean, like I that's where all of my frustrations, you know, come from, is like,
yeah,
man, the potential of this place. And I've said it a bunch of times this past week, like I wouldn't even know where to start with how great that property could be. I will say I've heard a bunch of conversations this week that I thought were very interesting. You know, I know. So I heard from Luke Humphreys, you know, kind of saying that if kayak doesn't change, they don't know that they're going to end up making it back there next year. It's going to be tough, you know, like bringing a bunch of the pro tour players back to a course that they don't want to play, like blues, and a
yeah,
bunch of, you know, and they're looking at the place being like, what if kind of thing. Um, I had heard of so I heard like Gossage specifically, and I heard a couple other pro tour guys, but I don't know any like specific names or heard from them like specifically, that I heard some they volunteered that in the off season they would fly out here on their own dime and go out and look and help kayak redesign the course. And from the my understanding, kayak was kind of reluctant and hesitant, to let those guys come in and redesign their course. The feeling is that kayak likes the place the way it is, and I mean, personally, I think I don't know, man. Like, you have the ability to have the best players in the world come in and help you build the best disc golf facility on the planet. Like, you should be taking full advantage of that. And I don't know, like, it's I don't know. It would be it could be the same thing, right? It could be the best disc golf property on the planet, and right now it
Yeah.
just feels like wasted potential.
In a way, it really could be. Like, you think about some of these elevations on, like, and the craziest part is, like, these courses connect most of the time. Like, it's not that crazy to go take, like, some of the property you're going and playing on, like, golds and blues, and mix them together and make some of these holes, like, different in that sense, and not just be playing a traditional ball golf or just a 470-foot, like, 30 different 4-foot gaps you have to hit kind of hole, you know?
Yeah.
Um, Matt, I that was kind of what when I was just at the clubhouse and hanging out and seeing some of the touring guys, I was like kind of just, that was like my main question I had when talking to anyone. I was like, what's your, like, real opinion on blues? I just genuinely wanted to hear, like, what they had to say, like, honestly, and hearing some of the things they had to say were, like, just really real. I think Matt Bell said my favorite stuff about it, how he agrees with Matty O about, if you can't drive a van a bus down the fairway, it's not a fairway, it's like
Sure.
he said even the best players will miss those shots. Like, it's not like a thing
Hmm.
of whether they're good or bad. Like, the best players in the world miss those shots. So that was something that I thought was really interesting, that you really do have to take into account if you do want pro level players coming and playing this course often. Like, even at local events, you're not going to see a MPO turnout, and like we've been seeing and stuff, like, because people don't want to go play a ratings buster that's like just a hard course, so you get kicked around all day. It's not that fun when you do execute shots and you are playing well. um Matt Bell said there was about 15 holes that weren't holes there on
Yeah.
blues. So
I mean, I would agree. Maybe that might be a little high on for like
yeah,
my personal opinion,
yeah, but
but I
I
mean,
was
like,
like, but if people are saying that, I'm like, you gotta, like, there's some truth with that,
yeah, yeah. I mean, um, I don't know. Like I said, some of the back nine, a lot of the back nine is great. I don't think it's a good disc golf hole. Is the If the idea is to hit, like you said, a 4 foot gap, like high on hyzer, and then hope you just like weave and bob the rest of your way through the trees. Like, that doesn't make for like a good disc golf hole necessarily. A lot of the talk going into it was like, oh man, like it's cleaned up so much, like, oh, it's gotten so much better. And like, to be fair, it has, but what happened is the brush piles that they made, they just condensed the brush piles and kind of like move them further away from the fairway. So it's like, yes, they are like the fairways, some of the sides where like maybe like our regular landing zones or areas that collect discs, like some of those brush piles are gone, but there's still, I mean, brush piles everywhere, and we still have ferns that are chest high in the fairway. Like, you're supposed to be throwing through that airspace, and if you land short in that airspace anywhere, you might not find your disc because it's in a fern that's, up to your tits. Um, it's just, I, I had I was talking with one of the guys from Kayak, and they kind of made like a side comment that said like if Kayak got paid the same amount that Glendoveer got paid, they would have no problem with hosting like a DGPT event. And I mean, just that's not. Glendoveer and Kayak are so far away from being similar properties. Glendoveer is a pristine, gorgeous golf course that has a ton of like awesome facilities and is in Northeast Portland. So it has like sick like cell reception, really convenient to get to, easy for players to get out of and into kind of thing. And Kayak's just like not that at all. It's not as cleaned up as Glendoveer is or any of that kind of stuff. So it's just not on the same level as Glendoveer, but it has the potential to be a much better course than Glendoveer is.
wait, yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
like, and they have the ability to do things there that Glendoveer can't do because Glendoveer is worried about their golf course, and they're worried about protecting their golf greens and stuff like that, where Kayak doesn't have that kind of situation. So I think Kayak has the potential to be a better disc golf course than Glendoveer is, but as far as the property is concerned, it's not nearly as nice of a property. Um, one of the other things one of the other things that I thought was kind of interesting is Chuck and I were playing Reds, the fucking goat, Chuck Knudsen. He and I just would go out, and because he was caddying for me, so afterwards it'd be like, all right, man, like time for you to throw some discs. So we'd go out and we'd play Reds, and just talking with him about like the red course and that kind of had me thinking that I don't necessarily know who the red course is designed for. Because if it's designed for like amateurs and like beginning players, I think the holes are too long.
Yeah.
Even if it's a par four, a 470-foot hole wide open is too long for a person that's only throwing 200 feet tops. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a bunch of holes on the backside that have that elevation. What is that, like 13 or something like that? That's like 300 foot, like
Yeah.
downhill, like that kind of thing. I think like stuff like that, like those kinds of holes are more set up for like your true beginner style player kind of thing. And I think kayak would really benefit on having a course that fed into that a little more rather than what Reds is, where Reds almost seems like amateur plus style course. Does that make sense? Do you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
No, I do. I feel like the harder holes where that really is a big problem, you do get the green pad sometimes.
Sure.
Like 3, they're not making you throw over that, and then like 10, they're not making you go, like they give you like some like it's still pretty far, and don't get me,
Mm,
it's not necessarily, and they adjust the pars, which maybe I wouldn't do that at that point. Then yeah, I just literally would keep the pars the same and just make it easier,
yeah.
besides like maybe 12, because 12 is like 5 to a 3, which is interesting, but I think it's just a little messy, and I don't think they're really true. Even yeah, I don't know, because like
I
12 on a par 3 for an amateur, it's still like a really hard, like it's kind of hard to just execute that shot for like a true MA4 like AM.
yeah.
Yeah, where it's like that's
Because
like, but if you gave the, I don't know, yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean
I
I
feel
think
that.
that's kind of like I don't know, as we were like talking about and stuff, like what's that one, it's like might be like 14 or 15. It's just like the par 3 that's like
Oh,
450,
it used to be
like
a par
wide open.
4. Or
Yeah,
no.
up on the little hillside there,
Yeah.
or up on the little mound there.
Yeah.
And it's like that kind of hole for like an MA4, an FA3 level player is like kind of bullshit. Like really like if you're throwing like 180 feet, like 220 feet, like that hole like is really hard and like kind of
You're
sucks.
throwing 2 max shots to maybe get an uphill putt. Like that sucks. Like
Yeah,
that's not, and it's like, it just, yeah, that, yeah, I'm not a fan of that hole.
but the hole after that is an awesome like MA3, FA3, MA4 style hole because it's just that little like downhill guy and stuff like that. So I think there's I don't know. I
It's,
think there's a way to redesign that entire property where Red's almost a little softer and geared more towards beginning players, where maybe you do have, more of your entry level players who don't feel so intimidated about going up there and playing kind of thing.
yeah,
And then golds can just be so much better. Like golds and
yeah,
blues can be combined to be so freaking dope, you know?
yeah. I was talking with a guy on my card in the second round, Brooke Hughes Browner. He plays in Eastern Washington, and so he doesn't come up here that much. So he didn't. So he kind of has like a different look on kayak and all that. But it was all kind of similar in the sense of like it was basically like the parts just don't make sense too much. And then like we were talking about like the if you come up to kayak point to play a casual round, what are you playing? Reds. And so it's like, is that the only casual? Because like for a casual player, are you gonna go play golds for like 3.5, 4 hours? Like
Yeah.
honestly, are you gonna go play blues for 4.5 hours? Like a casual round? Like some people, but like the greater majority aren't. So he, as a person coming from Eastern Washington, he was looking at these courses. He's like, the only one I can like really come and play with my friends and feel like, like in a good time,
Hmm.
and have that is the Reds course. So it's interesting to hear you bring up the point of being like, who is this even for? When
Yeah.
it's like kind of the only besides the pitch and putt. But
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah.
People keep saying 4 courses. It kind of makes me a little. I'm like, we gotta just not call that a course, dude.
No, that doesn't count. That should not count, at least. It's a fun side activity. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
a
It's like a
hundred. I love
bonus
that
to
they
it.
have it. I love
Yeah.
that they have it. But I'm like, we gotta not say it's a whole course they offer, like
Yeah,
for
yeah.
real.
No, that's not. Yeah. No, to Brooks' point, right? Like, if he comes out here with a couple of his friends, if he has an MA4 friend and he's playing MPO, his MA4 friend's having a much different experience on reds than he is. His MA4 friends like dude like ripping all day, where he's taking it easy and playing a lot. You know what I mean? Like for him, that's a very casual round, but for his MA3 or MA4 friend, like dude, he's coming out being like, I got to gear up, and
Yeah.
like he's like carbo loading the day beforehand,
Yeah.
getting ready. So, I don't know. I will say, I guess I'm all in all, I would say I'm a little frustrated at the event, but only from the point of I want it to be so great, and I think it has the potential to be so amazing, and I just don't think that's currently there. So,
Yeah.
kind of my overall feeling towards the GoThrow and kayak blues and golds, I guess, for to kind of combo it. But I will say golds is fine compared to blues, I guess. You know what
I
I mean?
like
Not
golds.
Yeah,
It's
not that
probably
they're
my favorite course. Yeah, there.
out there. I would say golds is probably my favorite. Yeah. Actually, a couple people asked me about Gannon's 12 under, which is insane, by the way. That's definitely like an 11-10, 11-20 rated round, without a doubt in my mind. Like I said before, he's the best player in the world. Like it's hard
Yeah.
to explain, but just to watch what he's doing and know that he's got so much more in the tank, like it's incredible.
That round is without getting one or two really gettable for him. Like that round, like if you look at the scores, like there's some like really, I don't know.
Oh yeah.
It's so much more you could do.
I told Brian that. Like when Brian asked me yesterday like what I thought of it, and I was like, I think he could do a couple more. I was like, and
I
I've
thought I literally looking at it, I was like 15 looks doable on this
yeah.
round that he
And
played.
and I've said that I think that's something that I've talked to people in the past about is how like if you took everybody in the field and you looked at what holes are birdied, I bet you there's 12, 13, 14 holes that get birdied in each individual tournament, just not by any individual person. Like, but the potential to birdie, like you look at them, you're like 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 9, 10. You know what I mean?
Cannon's
Like,
drive on four was uh
like
he was in the he missed a putt that he really should have made for birdie. It
that's
but
crazy.
like he was oh dude, yeah, you should yeah, he has a
Mhm.
video that's pretty good. Like that's
But
it's
that's
actually insane.
Yeah, but that's the kind of thing where it's just like, hey, like, I don't know, you look at it and you're like, well, it's possible to birdie all of these, but for one person to go and do it is just like freaking incredible,
They need to
like
get
just
like
absolutely.
yeah, it was cool to see. It made me also kind of see like what would Anthony Barella like if it was just like Anthony Barella versus him couple round tournament, what would happen out there? What would the
Yeah,
score be? Three at Golds,
3 rounds on golds, just the
30s.
two of them. High 20s, because you got to think one
Yeah,
round somebody's putting down like a
yeah,
7 or an 8,
yeah,
and they're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
shit, so,
Yeah, yeah.
um, yeah. All right, we have a new addition to the Hot Boy list. I gotta tell you, man, when we were doing the Go Throw beat the pros, there was one guy who kept popping up, and it was hard not to just kind of keep like being like, Jesus Christ, man, look at this guy. Ben Callaway, newest addition to the Hot Boy list. I mean, the dude's just rocking it. He's got swag. That's right. Ooh, you got the crowd noise. Um, yeah, the guys just kind of got it, man. Yeah, I don't know what to say, but Ben Callaway, congratulations, welcome to third member of the
Yeah,
Hot Boy list.
just came to kayak, well dressed, just yeah,
Nice guy,
yeah,
yeah, just
absolutely. I remember I qualified and I was like, we were standing there on hole three, and I was like, should I go ask him if he's doing the beat the pros thing?
yeah,
And
you're like nervous to talk to him. It was really funny. Yeah, for sure.
I-
So yeah, our current hot boy list is Ollie Depina with a haircut, is Miguel Vargas, and is
Carlos.
Carlos Vargas. Sorry, Carlos Vargas, and Ben Callaway. So I don't know, man. You walk into a room and you see those three guys, you know you're having a good time.
Who's gonna be
Um,
the elusive fourth Mount Rushmore?
ooh, of the first four of the hot boy
Ooh,
list, we'll see.
ooh.
We'll see. Oh my God, so funny, dude. All right, let's let's look right ahead into next week. Not much going on, not much to look at. There's really, I don't even think there's many events going on here in the Washington area. Seems like the Northwest Championships are pretty much going to be dominating the Pacific Northwest talk the next couple of weeks. But that being said, Ollie and I, KO Disc Golf Show, is hitting the road. We're going to be heading down to Portland on Friday. And, you know, the pro tour happening in Milo, that's cool and all, but Ollie and I got bigger fish to fry. There is a pair of Flex Start C tiers happening at Glendoveer. So I'm pretty pumped. There's going to be one happening in the morning on, I think the morning one is East and the night one is on West, and I might have gotten those mixed up.
Yep.
But
Either way.
we're, did I? Yeah,
No, I
whatever.
don't know. I said
Oh,
I don't know as well, but I'm like, we'll be playing both, and we'll be playing one in the morning, one at night.
yeah, either way, we're there. So, but yeah, so one's in the morning, one's at night. Glendoveer East, Glendoveer West. Should be really fun. I think Joel Gleghorn, one of the local guys, signed up for one of our cards. So that's really cool. We're both basically going in blind. I did play this event last year, but I don't really remember any of the holes or anything like that. So I'm hoping one of the Pro Tour players puts out a video that'll kind of like remind me of a bunch of the stuff. So
Yeah, I'm definitely
um,
gonna need it, but I'm
yeah,
so excited. Like I've watched the Portland Open a ton, where I'm like, I like the property, I like the holes they do offer. Where yeah, I'm excited.
oh, I guess I could just watch Portland Open from last year. But they probably changed a bunch of holes
They
and stuff
probably
like
did
that.
change it a
So
lot, but
yeah,
they have changed it every year. I believe holes have changed, so I don't know. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, super super excited to do that. We're gonna be on the road by 6 a.m. on Friday morning. And yeah, trying to get down there in time to get ready for our tea time and that kind of thing. So wish us luck. Yeah, we'll be there all Friday.
Yeah.
All right, now time for a new segment. This is the weather look ahead. This is presented by Swamp Cow Kava Bar. Kava is your alcohol alternative. So Swamp Cow Kava Bar, shut up and drink it.
Shut
Um,
up and drink it.
Shut up and drink it. So as we look ahead, let me see as I get my weather app up
Oh my
here.
gosh, I got something for you. In Portland
Uh-oh.
this week, when me and Kirby are going to be down there, a low of 48 and a high of 81 is what's projected.
Oh,
So we
dude,
got
that's like
some. It's
perfect.
all sun. No, it has no skies, just all sun predicted. So that is a very nice day we are going to get treated to.
I love that, dude. That's perfect. Yeah, sunny days. Man, that's awesome. That means we don't have to bring like rain gear or
Our
anything
first.
like that.
Oh, dude, I'm going to be. The shorts are out. Chicken legs are
Yeah.
out. The compact legs.
I'm gonna have to rock shorts too, just as like a dominating factor. Got my tree trunks down here.
All right, I'm wearing my cargos now, my cargo pants.
Yeah.
All right, I'm wearing
Um,
overalls.
that's it. That's it. Covering them up. As we look ahead to the weather here in Seattle, looks like the next couple of days are going to be amazing. Kind of cool. Looking like we got highs of 72, 82, lows of 48 and 54. Thursday, we got some rain, and then back to nice weather, kind of running through the weekend with a little bit of clouds and kind of mid 60s to low 70s. I love it, dude. This is prime weather for me, man. This is so good. My peak comfortability is wearing shorts and like a hoodie like I am today.
Yep.
And just I love it, dude.
Good air quality, beautiful skies, winds not too crazy. This is a really nice day, y'all.
Hell yeah.
And the visibility is out 18 miles, perfectly clear view. Go look at some mountains.
Go check it out.
Go check it out.
Go check it out. All right. All right. Moving into the draft for this week. This week we're drafting MLB jerseys. Kind of fun. I am a big fan. I've actually started like not on purpose, but just kind of unintentionally like collecting jerseys. Like I think I
Mm.
probably have like 5 or 6 Red Sox jerseys now that I've kind of just. It's like every other year now for the last like 10 years. It seems like I've just bought a new jersey. It's just kind of a treat myself kind of thing, and
Yep.
yeah, I love. I mean, I love having them. I don't think I wear them enough, so I think that's going to be something that I'm kind of like going to intentionally do going forward. Is just wearing my Red Sox jerseys more. Um,
I like when players wear like I like Carter wearing the like even though he just moved there so he's a Titans fan now. Which not calling you out, Carter, but
Calling you
I
out
just
though.
noticed that. The jersey was clean as hell, and I think I love when I see players like I just like it. It's a little fun,
Yeah.
a little different. You know, shows you get to show off a little more of who you are at times in a way and around. So I saw you wearing the Red Sox jersey, and I was like, look at fly curves, look
Oh
at
yeah.
fly.
Yeah, I wore the Red Sox jersey on Saturday. My sister-in-law got me that because it has my name and the number I wore as a kid
Heck
on
yeah.
it as number 5. So, yeah, like I said, man, I just don't. I never have the opportunity to wear them enough, so it just seemed like such a perfect day, perfect time for it. So, Ollie, I'm gonna go ahead and give you the number one overall pick for the MLB jersey draft.
Now, I wasn't sure if I wanted it, but we'll take it because what I'm going with is a little controversial, but it is my favorite. It is the turn ahead the clock uniforms for the Mariners. The
Oh,
sleeveless, Griffey, red, silver, black, banger!
hell yeah, dude.
That's like my favorite jersey ever. And it's just like the swag of the backwards cap, the red
Yeah,
backwards cap with like, it's just so cool.
that
So
whole
swaggy.
setup, that whole setup was so good, dude. Yeah, no arguing that at all, man.
Okay, good first
Um,
one. I wasn't sure because I know there's just some classics, but I was like, this is just my favorite.
no, it's like I mean I don't know that that's
That is a
necessarily on.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that it's like my top 5 or anything like that, but it is. I mean, they're sick jerseys. It's definitely super unique. Dude, really fun. Yeah, that's a cool pick, dude. Not bad. I'm also not surprised. I figured you were gonna go Mariners heavy and hard on this draft, so yeah, that works. Okay, so for the number 2 overall pick and my first overall pick, Ollie, I'm gonna try to send you pictures as I'm doing this, but I'm picking the brand new, and this might be just a little bit of recency bias, but the brand new Red Sox City Connect jerseys are
Oh, those are cool.
I think they're so sick. They are the kind of off green or kind of like light green jersey. Uh, the jersey's meant to look exactly like the Green Monster. The font, the logos are all of that of the Green
Yep.
Monster. Um, what I really like about it is the yellow number on the front of the jersey. Those that don't know, the yellow, they use that when it's an active. When runs are actively being scored in the inning. So if you're currently in the first inning and your team scores a run, the number comes up yellow, and then
Hmm.
as they move on to the next inning, they switch that yellow number out for a white number. So the yellow is like just a cool, like little like nod to the Red Sox. I love these though. I think they're so sick. I actually have one coming in the mail pretty
Ooh.
soon because like yeah, when I saw them come out, I was like, I gotta get me one of these. So I'm pretty sure I got a David Ortiz one, but I might have mixed it up and gotten like Jaron Duran or something. But
That's hard. I like that.
dude, they're so cool
I
though.
have to
Yeah,
then I have a question after the draft for you. But
sure.
good pick, good pick.
Yeah, I really like that one. And then I'm gonna kind of take this from you because I feel like it's probably down your list of stuff to draft. But I'm gonna pick the that just solid teal Mariners jersey.
Oh,
Dude,
that's a
it's
great pick.
nice. Yeah, it's
It was
really
I
nice.
think that was my first honorable mention, but it is I love that jersey so much.
They're really good. Yeah, I like that color a lot, and like just like the solid. I like the solid colored jerseys like that. I think I don't know. I think it's really good. So
No, good one. Okay. Those are two good picks. We are going to go with our second pick and the fourth overall pick, the baby blue St. Louis Cardinals jerseys.
oh yeah.
I think it's just such a sweet touch on their like red because the red looks good, the white looks good, but when they do that blue, I think it accents both colors. The Cardinals look really cool on there.
Yeah.
They've done it newer ones, but I think like their older jerseys look like really cool. But either one works. It's just mostly that blue in that St. Louis Cardinals I like. And then for my next pick, I'm going to go with oh, I think I'm gonna take this one. I don't think we're gonna go with like the it's like the darker blue Mariners jersey with the yellow accent. It's like
The City Connect.
there's our City
Yeah,
Connect
yeah.
jerseys.
With the
Yep,
black pants, right?
I like the black pants a
Do
lot.
you? Oh, dude, that kind of ruins it for me,
I like
honestly.
the black pants a lot
Yeah.
because I think if you wear because especially when you see them wearing like black arm sleeves and stuff like that, I think it accents well with that. Because yeah, I like it. I like it.
That's cool. Yeah, not bad. I mean, not a bad jersey in any way, right?
I love that
Um,
blue and yellow so much. Or just it's a good homage to the old blue and yellow colors, and I think it looks sweet with a nice like modern twist. And
Um, yeah, very sick. Yeah,
a
so
lot of City Connects on this that are the cool
dude,
ones.
the City Connects really popped off. Yeah. Um, all right, so for my number 6 pick in the draft, I am going to pick. Wait, I'm gonna write down yours really quick.
I can send you pictures of them too. My bad.
I mean, you're the one doing the editing later,
Oh yeah.
so I'm just trying to send you
Yeah,
pictures.
sure.
Yeah. Um, I was like, I'm sitting here trying to grab them real quick. So, okay, so for the number 6 pick in the draft, and I got back to back here, so I guess the order doesn't necessarily matter. But I'm going with the San Diego Padres City Connect jerseys as well. I think they're kind of unpopular actually, but I really like the pink, the light green, the yellow. Like I think it's very it's I've never been to San Diego, but that is like the vibe that I would have gotten out of San Diego already. So I'm a big fan. You know, they're kind of ugly, kind of bright, but I think it's fun.
I like them. I like their like brown jersey, like the brown on their jersey a lot.
Oh yeah, like the classic like Friars jersey. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I
Okay. Yeah.
like and then yeah, for my last pick is this Diamondbacks throwback jersey. This was I think so. They wore this jersey in the 2001 World Series when they won, and that was right about the time when I was first getting into baseball. So when I was getting into baseball, Randy Johnson and Kurt Schilling were just shutting down the Yankees wearing these jerseys, and I was like, "This is awesome," you know. And that really kind of like sparked my fandom or helped spark my fandom at least of baseball just in general. So, but yeah, those Diamondback jerseys are with the purple and the pinstripe, just
Yeah.
so sick.
Those are tough. Those are tough. Oh, so for my last pick, in the last pick of the draft, I have. I like this one a lot, and I remember when it came out. It was. I think they've been rocking it for a few years now, but it's the Chicago White Sox, their South Side City Connect jerseys. I
Oh,
really.
is this the ones
It,
that?
South Side on there, and it's like the black
Oh,
pinstripes. They're pretty sweet. I
yeah, yeah,
really
yeah.
like them. I think they're a good take on like their jersey with like a. I don't know. It's really crispy to me the way the South
Yeah,
Side
yeah.
says.
I would say honorable mention to the new White Sox jerseys that came out that really look like Bulls uniform. They look like
Yeah,
the
those are
90s
cool too.
Bulls. I
I
like
think
those.
I would have put those, but I think the collar is just too funny because they're like put all the
Oh,
Bulls
and,
championships in there, and
and
it's like, hey
the
yo,
one White Sox. Yeah. That was really funny. Also I had the Oakland A's solid green jerseys. I
yeah,
think those are pretty cool.
classic.
The Marlins have that light blue
Marlins,
jersey.
yeah, Marlins. I really like.
Yeah, and then they also have a pin. The Marlins also have a pinstripe jersey that I think is also really cool. I think it's a lot of jerseys that I just remember like from my childhood of like a team winning the World Series and me being like, they're so cool. I'm 9. You know,
Yeah,
not bad though. So just a recoup or
recap.
recap. Thank you. We got Ollie with the Turn Ahead the Clock Mariners, the Baby Blue Cardinals, the City Connect Mariners, and the Southside City Connect White Sox. I picked the City Connect Red Sox, the Teal Mariners, the City Connect Padres, and the Throwback Diamondbacks. Pretty good. Scattering of teams there.
Yeah, you
So
got to be proud of us. We could have easily gone 4 Red Sox, 4 Mariners. So
that would have been easy. Would have been so easy.
episode 59 coming to a close. NBA players of the future, please wear number 59. There's only been one of you. um, in honor of the NBA Finals, Tyrese Halliburton and the Pacers are looking great playing the New York Knicks. A funny little quote from him: "I'm tired of being a loser." And Tyrese Halliburton after Pacers lost to Heat. You know, sometimes you just gotta be tired of being a loser. Aim high, shoot low, and we'll see you next week.